everyone, I'm Caroline Stevens and this is another episode of Let's Talk. Sorry to say this is the last episode of our season. We are going off air for a while, but we will be back with the summer shows on, I think it's the end of June, beginning of July, with some more fabulous guests. But talking about fabulous guests, today I have with me two wonderful people I'm sure you're going to enjoy listening to. Kamiraz and David Anthony. So without further ado, hi guys.
Hi, how are you?
Good, lovely to have you on Let's Talk. So for the purpose of everybody that's watching, you're welcome. Thank you so much for being on. So for the purpose of everybody that's watching, why don't you talk and tell us a little bit about yourselves and what you've been up to and what you're doing at the moment?
I'll say my name's Kamiraz, otherwise known to the nation as Mr. Fabulous.
Yeah.
And this is...
And I'm David Anthony, otherwise known to the viewers as David Anthony.
David Anthony.
Very good.
If we're not doing anything solo, we're doing quite a lot of things together as a comic.
Well, let me just point out, I never do anything solo. You do your solo, and I just join in if I have to, if I need to. If it's
wonderful.
Yeah.
Great. So what have you then been doing? You, Jay, first solo, and then together.
I've been doing quite a bit on my own. The most recent, probably people would recognize me from a show that I did for the BBC called All Together Now. I was a music talent judge, whereby contestants came on and we had about 100 music experts.
Not bad, it wasn't 100.
Yeah, about 100 music experts who included Spice Girl Jerry Horner. And we just basically got up for anybody we thought that had a vocal talent. And the reason why I was on the show was because I was a gospel choir and also a singer, and I still am, and I have been doing that for the last 16 years. So they thought that I would have the expertise to pick out.
You're a gospel choir director.
Gospel choir director, yes.
You just said I'm a gospel choir.
Yeah, I'm a gospel
not
choir.
on your own, you're not, darling.
Gospel choir.
You know what? Whatever, it was a choir, but I remember that show and it was great.
You just said I was a gospel choir.
This is the thing, Caroline, between us. We have this bickering couple relationship. Never like Ruth and Naaman.
No.
He will always correct me, or even if I got a word out of context, he likes to put his 2 pennies worth in.
You know what? It's very normal. It's a very normal thing to do. Same as me and David. I'm always correcting him. He's always correcting me. And that's how it is. That's a good relationship.
That's his life, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yes, so since being on the show, I've then gone on to do quite a few other TV jobs, working on music and TV. And then obviously between myself and David, we've done a few projects. I think maybe you would like to talk about the stuff that we've done together.
Well, we did, obviously, the first thing that, I've been in fashion all my life, and obviously TV was a new thing to me, but obviously not new to Jay, and castings, etc. And Jay said, we're going on a casting together. And I said, are we? It's very new to me. We went for this casting for a TV commercial for Hungry House. And even during the interview process or the casting process, I got told off because I don't know. It's my first time. Jay, being the old pro, knew exactly what was going on, but me not. And I forgot to turn my phone off. So my phone went off and I quickly adjusted it. And he said, that's it. That's the end of it. We haven't got the cast. You messed it up. We haven't got the job, blah, blah, blah. I was like, I'm so sorry.
But what we didn't realise is while that was happening, the camera was still rolling and we were having a couple.
So we were having an argument, but that's what they loved about us. They absolutely
natural.
Yeah, a couple of days later, we got a call to say we got the job. The clients absolutely loved us.
Brilliant.
We had no idea that the camera was still rolling while we were bickering, but that's what they loved about us. And we ended up going off to Wales, to Cardiff, and we did a couple of days with it, filming. and it was a very successful
So they sent you somewhere exotic
commercial.
then?
Oh yeah,
Cardiff,
Cardiff,
darling.
At first they put us up in student digs, but I wasn't having any of it.
No, exactly.
I said, darling, I'm too old to be in student digs in a single room. I thought I was in a cell. So they ended up putting us in the centre of Cardiff
They put us in the Hilton in the end.
In the Hilton. So yeah,
very
I was happy
nice.
with that.
And when
I'm a diva, of course.
Of course. So this show was then filmed, and is it on TV now?
It wasn't a show. It was
a commercial which came on TV, and then it went on for about
2016, wasn't it?
Yeah, 2016. It
year
went
and a
on for
half.
about 2 years. Year and a half.
2 years, yeah. And they absolutely loved it. I mean, we were known as the chicken chow mein boys because Jay does a little sing song.
Well, it all started off because there are loads of couples talking about takeaway, and I just created this jingle, which we didn't really think they were going to keep it in the final edit.
To be honest, I'd forgotten.
And we forgot about it. And then we had friends calling us and saying, "Are you singing this chicken balls and chow mein jingle, which is turning into a cult phenomenon? Everybody's talking about it."
Yeah.
And I'm like, I had no idea. So I called up the producers and I said, "Yeah, we've actually kept that in."
Yeah.
And that went on to then play on the radio. And
Wow.
The radio version of it.
So how does it go?
Oh my goodness!
Go on, let's do it.
We'll do that for you. So
We'll do it just for you.
Go on, just do it.
Balls and my chow mein.
Yep.
Chow mein.
Yep.
Chow mein.
Yep.
Repeat chow mein for God's sake.
Sorry.
My chicken balls and my chow mein.
Chow mein.
Chow mein.
Chow mein.
And the pork balls.
Hot ball.
And then we laugh.
Wow.
And but it was so ridiculously silly that people loved it. I mean, there was people doing their own parodies of it on YouTube.
Yeah, on YouTube. There was loads. Kids, apparently, it got banned from certain schools because they kept singing it during class.
Wow, I bet that was a real big hit on TikTok.
Yeah.
It was. But the funny thing was, at the time, we didn't really know about TikTok until only recently I went on and I've seen actually people.
Like 5 years
from years ago, people have been sharing it on TikTok, on YouTube, you name it. So many people have shared it. And because of the success of that commercial, we then went on to do a three-part mini-series called Chow Mein to Fame, which was just like a comic take on us visiting people's...
It was Bruce and Harry goes, really.
It was actually. Visiting people's households and telling them to ditch what they've got in their fridge and order a takeaway.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that was for Hungry House, which
I absolutely love chow mein, by the way.
Oh well, that's great.
Good.
Yeah, I think most people do. But that got Just Eat got bought out by Hungry House got bought out by Just Eat, and of course it's unfortunate because I think had Hungry House carried on, we may have done a few more commercials, but c'est la vie.
Well, listen, you did it. That's more than a lot of people can say. It's brilliant.
Well, people still shout out at us, pork balls, as they're going past in their cars.
See, the funny back then, I was not as skinny as I am now, and I had like a big quiff that I think people kind of.
Well, that was your
signature look.
That's because you were eating too much chow mein, and obviously now it's chow mein.
Too much.
I've carried on.
Yeah, you're still eating it.
He's having so the chow mein where I'm having the soba noodles.
Right. So, what is this new TV show that you're both doing?
So we've just currently finished doing the funny thing is it's very similar to what we did for Hunger House, where it's a goggle box format where they have instead of talking about food, we were critiquing films, and we were invited by Lad Bible, who I previously worked with on a fitness episode, which got over 1.3 million views. They asked us to do this thing, which was in partnership with Star on Disney. So Disney Star Plus.
Yeah.
Yes, Disney.
Yes. It was basically an advert for them, for Disney Star Plus, Gogglebox style. And we sat there, we watched, like they do on Gogglebox, a film, and we talked about different things.
And they got our reactions and things. So it was,
but to be honest, we talked more about us than we did about the film.
It was three different series which were showed on. So each series was played on Unilad. One was played on Lad Bible. The other was played on Tyler, which is another big online platform, predominantly mainly celebrating women. But they put that on there obviously because
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, Star and Disney wanted to target their a women's demographic. So it done really well. We just recently found out that collectively it's had over about 2.5 million views.
Wow, that's brilliant.
As a whole, which
brilliant.
Is great success.
That's a lot of friends we got.
Yes. I bet your Facebook is saying no more friends. You've got enough.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry,
absolutely.
babes.
I hate that. They only let you have
No.
5,000 friends on Facebook, don't they? And then you got to start a new page.
Makes me get so lost in the rhythm. Got caught in the rhythm with you. Lost in the rhythm. Got caught in the rhythm with you. Lost in the rhythm. Got caught in the rhythm with you. Ooh, I feel the rhythm with you. Makes me get so lost in the rhythm. Got caught in the rhythm with you. Lost in the rhythm. Got caught in the rhythm with you. Lost in the rhythm. Got caught in the rhythm with you. Ooh, I feel the rhythm with you.
No, but the funny thing with us is we have our I have my public page, and whereas my Facebook is very private, because sometimes I like to, it's very important for people to understand that we like to keep our circle very, very small.
Absolutely.
Because quite often, we get requests from so many different people, and the general consensus people are because they're nosy, and they want to.
Well, we normally do. If we know you, I'll accept you. If I don't know you, then
so if I send you a friend request later, you'll accept it.
Yeah.
You'll accept mine.
We know you now.
We know you. No, but it's if you want a public, then you go to his public page, and I'm very much a family man, and on Facebook itself, I mainly talk about my family. My grandchildren. I've got 4 sons. I've got 5 grandchildren. So if I put anything on Facebook, it's normally about my family, and therefore I don't need it to go out to the world, really.
You're a bit like me. I've got 2 Facebook pages, one for my business. Well, actually, I've got 3. I've got one for the TV show, one for my business.
You're greedy.
But one for my personal life. And I've got 3 sons and 5 grandchildren.
Oh, right.
Wow.
You're one short.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah,
so there you go. So let
yeah.
me know. I've heard you sing, Jay. I watched a few of your, I like to do a bit of my research before I have people on. And you're a fabulous singer. Absolutely fabulous. Really enjoy
rumor has it you're a songwriter.
I am, yes. As many other things. And a singer too, and a vocal coach.
Oh, fantastic.
And my husband's a record producer. So yeah, we're still pretty, active. But I mean, COVID's been tough, obviously, for everybody.
Right, what we suggest is that your husband gets onto our Facebook. And even if we don't know him, we'll accept.
You'll accept. His name's David Stevens, so you'll accept him as well. But it's been tough.
Wasn't he the goalie?
No, that's Seaman.
Oh yeah, I knew it was close. No, I'm a gay man. I don't know much about football. I just remember.
Well, it's all about balls, isn't it? So there you go.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's all about balls. No, thank you for mentioning the singing side of it. The funny thing is, all my life I've been running choirs, directing choirs, always putting my singers first and kind of nurturing the vocals of others. And then recently, after being on All Together now, I finally decided that it was time that I started to share my own vocals with the public. And then I did my first live show, which got amazing reviews
Just
from
before lockdown.
No, that was the second show.
Second one. Sorry,
but the first show I did got amazing reviews from BBC Radio 2, which they came to the show. Vanessa Feltz came to the show, and absolutely love it. And she's a hard woman to please. Yeah. And the thing was, she absolutely loved it. Her and Ben came along, and that kind of gave me that kind of strength and resilience. So actually, if people who are so highly credentialed as that are liking what I'm doing, maybe I should be continuing with my solo work. And then I decided to do my second show, which was pre-lockdown. Actually, it was March, literally a week before lockdown happened, where I did my second show, which was at the Pizza Express, which was a nice success. Also celebrating 16 years of being a gospel choir director. So I had a little element of that, brought the choir in to perform. And since then, during lockdown, I've just been working on recording my first single, which, I'm working on at the moment.
Brilliant. So can I ask you, so you've obviously with choir work, is it a bit gospel? Is it kind of gospel, or do you do... I've listened to some choirs. There's an American choir that I'm quite fond of. Although they sing very gospel, they're doing pop songs, but singing them in a gospel way. So basically, is that the way it works with you?
So it is. Yeah, it's commercial gospel. Basically, what happened was when I started my choir, you used to. There was one big choir who they did loads of work and they dominated the industry. And then when I came along, I'm not going to mention who they are, but they kind of they didn't like the fact that I came along, and I kind of felt like there's room for me as a choir director and many other choirs, and I created a niche where I took inspiration from the film Love Actually, where choirs was singing pop songs, and I thought, right, wouldn't it be nice if we did that for clients, for their weddings or corporates? Yeah, because some people have civil ceremonies and they can't have religious songs. So instead, we will perform your favorite pop song and turn it into a gospel song. And that actually really took on, and clients started to love the idea. And oh my God, we've sung everything. I mean, we had some strange requests, but I love a challenge, and I like to kind of arrange. We had people wanting American Pie to
get here. Yeah, but they were already there.
Yeah, to Red Hot Chili Peppers, you name it. There have been some bizarre requests.
What are your personal musical influences? I mean, who is the people that you really aspire to?
Well, me, I aspire to Prince. That's my biggest inspiration, is Prince.
Good choice.
Etta James, Eartha Kitt, Etta James, James Brown. Those are they've always been my inspiration. That's pretty much me. I don't know about you, David.
Oh, I just love everything, me. I'm half Italian, so I just love I love Italian music. So I listen to a lot of Italian music.
Do you like Dean Martin, I should imagine?
Yes, I love. You know what? I love all the opera singers. I love. I'm very diverse in what I like, really. Yeah. I can't pinpoint anybody in particular.
No, that's true. Yeah,
a whole range. To be honest,
I think it's quite a difficult question to ask someone. I mean, I get asked that. Who's your favourite singer? What's your favourite song? It's very difficult.
David, David's got a bit of a penchant for being a crooner himself.
Oh yeah, I like a little bit of a sing-song myself. I can't sing really, but I pretend I can.
But there are loads of people that are not really what we would call, Jay and I would call pro singers or whatever, but you can still hold down a tune. Yeah, you can still hold down a tune and entertain.
I'm a bit like Jedwood. They can't sing, but they're good entertainers.
Well, that's a matter of opinion. That really is. I don't know about Jedwood. So then, I'm going to put you on the spot then. I just said this. If you had to pick one song that you would love to perform with your choir, of your choice, what would it be?
Oh, my choice for my choir. Actually, one of my all-time favorite song is by Prince, and it's.
If you say Purple
I will
Rain,
say it's Purple Rain.
Oh my God!
It's Purple Rain. I would love to do a rendition of that with the choir.
I used to like that song, but he sang it so much that I hate it now.
I can imagine.
I actually with that, or I have a great rendition of "This Is a Man's World" by James Brown, where there is because of the chord structure. There's amazing ways you can bring a big choral choir sound into that. That completely changes the song. So those are the two songs which I would love to.
It's funny though, David, what you're saying about Purple Rain, because I'm a huge Prince fan. So is my husband, whose name is also David. But when Purple Rain first came out, it was like, whoa, wow, love it, love it, love it. But now I find that it's become very much a karaoke song. You go out to a pub and everybody wants to sing Purple Rain on the karaoke. And I get what you're saying, because I've heard it so many times on karaoke. I think, oh my God, not Purple Rain.
I think my favourite song is probably very cliche, because I'm Frank Sinatra's My Way. And I'd love to sing that with
love
a big
Frank Sinatra.
But again, you know, who doesn't love Frank Sinatra? And
do you know what? It's if you're musical, if you're a true musical person, whether you're a performer, a singer, or just like you, David, an entertainer who loves music, I think that it's very hard to, just pigeonhole one type of music, and I always say to people, don't ask me to pick, because I love great songs and great singers, regardless of what genre they are.
Great singers.
Could be opera, could be rock, it could be folk, it could be country, it could be soul. A great song is a great song.
Baby, I know it ain't the truth. I'm faking this love for me and you. Oh, I wanna magic something true, so we can fly away. What you gonna do when love ain't enough and you're losing your touch? Don't give up on love. What you gonna do when you know it's goodbye? Do you fight or do you cry? Just hold on, don't give up on love. I wonder sometimes how it could have been.
Yeah. The only thing, my son, he likes the grime. Is it grime? Grime. No, sorry. That's one thing that
I agree.
2 seconds that it drives me mad. I just go, turn that down. I can't bear it.
Yeah,
but,
I know.
I'm open to most things, but that drives me insane.
Well, you know why?
When
because
they call that.
When you're musical, like obviously you are, as I said, you don't have to play an instrument or be a great singer to be musical.
No.
And I can tell you're musical.
Yeah.
And when you are a great singer like Jay, it's kind of like you ask yourself when you hear this grime or some of the stuff that's in the charts now, where is the musicality gone?
Yeah.
There's no musicality in that music.
Fine. If that's what they like, that's what they like. And it's, sometimes I feel like an old man by saying that.
I think with grime music, what it is it's become relatable, and a lot it's the power of word. And
it's the lyrics, isn't it?
It's the use of words, and it's a language that the young kids use and understand. And I think that's kind of somehow transpired into music. And even spoken word has become somehow has made its way into grime music, into rap music, and and a lot of the big stars now that you see that are coming forward, who are being pioneers, who are really doing their stuff. Look at Stormzy, for example. He is like your grime rap artist who's come,
Well, I guess the youth of today can probably relate to, the lyrics, what they're saying.
Yeah.
But again, there's still no musicality in it. It's just lyrics.
I don't see it.
It may as well be poetry, a new form of poetry.
It is really, isn't it? It is a form of poetry.
Yeah, it is.
It's words spoken. It's not about the music that goes with it. It's about the words that they're saying. So therefore, it is a form of poetry.
It is.
In some retrospects, I agree with you, Caroline, where, you know, when you listen to some of the old great music and how music was put together and the musicality and the true essence and soul of music, you don't get that anymore. If you listen to some of the old Motown songs, and the old greats.
You're getting old, darling. You're getting old.
Listen,
I mean, you're a Prince. Listen, you're a Prince fan. So I've only got to mention the song, "The Most Beautiful Girl in the World," which is the Prince song. Beautiful. I mean, what musicality is in that song? The chord structure, the melody, the harmonies. You know, that's what's missing today. It's what's missing today. Really is.
Yeah, that man was an absolute genius. I mean, the things he could do. Well,
he played every instrument. He produced it all. He did everything, didn't he? He did everything.
Exactly, and he's inspired so many musicians that are coming forward. And you know, I'm sure people like Bruno Mars has taken inspiration from him. Janelle Monroe.
Yeah.
You know, and you can sometimes you look at certain artists and you can see that.
You see the inspirations.
You can see where the influences come from. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, so let me ask you guys now. We've had a laugh talked about music. On a serious note, how has COVID affected you over these last 15, 16 months? I mean, it affected me badly. I had it. I got well. My brother died from it, unfortunately. But
I'm sorry to hear that.
But how did it affect you guys?
Well, for me personally, 2020 was supposed to be my year. I had, the work I had booked in, I had so much. I just before lockdown, I signed with a new broadcasting agent. Everything was all set. 2020 was looking glorious with bookings after bookings, from headlining shows to TV shows to, you know, everything. And sadly, because of COVID and the lockdown, everything got cancelled or rescheduled, and that kind of hit me quite hard, because all I know is how to be creative and how to be musical.
Jay's not a person to sit there and do nothing.
Yeah, I can't sit around and do nothing.
Although sometimes people think he's doing nothing, he's constantly on his phone, sourcing different things, and you know, aren't you?
And it was just a case of working out how, and it was tough, because the first couple of weeks, how do I adjust to this? How long is this going to last? You know, we're following the rules. You know, we stayed indoors. There was nothing you can do, and then it was just a case of slowly but surely we found ways of communicating through what we're doing right now, through Zoom, doing more FaceTimes. You know, there are some good positive things that have come out of it, but also the mental health aspects of it. I mean, for me personally, it was enormous. It was very tough. I'm not going to lie.
I was just going to ask you that. How did it affect you mentally? Because a lot of my friends who were really positive people normally have suffered badly with depression and anxiety.
I think you did.
I mean, I did suffer, but the thing with me is I'm an optimist, and I always believe there is a way out of everything. And the thing with me is I don't express too much of my pain or what I'm going through, because I feel like there's a lot, probably it's my downfall. It's because so many people look up to me for inspiration, and some kind they get strength from me. I feel like I have a duty to be but I also let people know is even the strongest people out there who are giving that positivity and who are a pillar of strength are also going through their own turmoil, and it's important for people to understand that nobody's perfect.
When you get right down to it, isn't this a moment what it's all about, boy? And when you get right down to it, don't you just think this moment takes everything holding you
we did do a positive thing. We, when they were doing clapping for the NHS, so every Thursday we would set up a PA system outside my house, and Jay and I would sing for an hour.
That's great. That's great.
We all clapped at first, and then we did songs between us, didn't we?
I hope they clapped at the end as well when you finished.
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah. They'll run in with their fingers in their ears.
The beautiful thing about that is we knew our neighbours, but we didn't really know them, if you know what I mean. And doing something like performing for the NHS and everyone clapping, we kind of all embraced each other and got to know each other, and such
community. It was a sense of community,
and it became quite a thing because a couple of the streets, the adjacent streets, they started to come to our street on the Thursday night just to join in with the party atmosphere.
That's wonderful.
We was all social distance. It was cool.
For me, I appreciate what you're saying, because for me, it was so lonely. It was so lonely at some times. That was a problem for me. Although I worked constantly, my husband worked constantly. We have, he works from home. The recording studios at home. We work constantly, but we got a bit fed up with. We love each other, but we got fed up with looking at each other's faces non-stop. I'm a very sociable person, I need social contact all the time. I'm a very sociable person. So I did get a bit lonely at time, and I found myself really looking forward to Thursday night. When I was just on the doorstep and clapping, I could see
just to go on the doorstep,
It gave me a sense that I wasn't alone, that there was others out there exactly like me. And I thought it was a wonderful thing to do. I really, really did.
Yeah, it was.
And I got very emotional. I used to cry. Every time everybody clapped, I used to cry. Such a fool. I found it so emotional.
That's not a bit cool.
But then I cry at everything.
No, but it was a bit of fun. But for me, it wasn't that much of a change, because being retired, I don't really do a lot work-wise at all. But I did miss the contact with my kids and the grandchildren. Although we were Zooming, it's still Zooming and FaceTime. Never Zoomed and FaceTime so much. It's
not the same as a cuddle, is it?
It's not quite the same, no. But it was quite nice, because my dad, and he's coming up 80. He had a major heart operation this year, or last year rather, and not being able to go and visit him in hospital, etc. But we kept in touch on Zoom. We spoke every day, sometimes a couple of times a day.
Wow, that's wonderful. And is he doing okay now? Is he doing okay? He's
absolutely, touch wood.
Thank God.
Touch wood,
Thank God.
He's very successful, and he got through it, but it was a bit lonely for him. So thank God we taught him how to do FaceTime, or whatever they call it, on WhatsApp. And so he was able to keep in touch, and it made me feel a lot better. I never spoke to him so much. But
I know how you're feeling. I mean, my parents are both gone now, but David's mum is still alive. She's 91, and she's in a home. She's in a care home. She's got dementia, but it's very hard. He's not been able to see her, but thank God they've just opened them up again, and he's going to see her. I think, is it next week or the week after? It's by appointment only now, but it's got to be very organized. But when you can't see your loved ones, it's just heartbreaking.
But I've not seen my dad. I've not physically seen my dad for 2 years now.
Unbelievable.
Because he lives up in
Lowestoft
near Great Yarmouth. And when it started, I went for his birthday, and then when this started, the pandemic and everything, he didn't want anybody visiting. Not that we could, but he was like, no, especially with I've got to have this heart operation, etc. So it was a very lonely time for him. But he's got a wife, and but even his wife couldn't go visit. Nobody could visit him in hospital.
No. It has been tough for a lot of people, hasn't it? But for everybody, really. But please God, I think we're coming through the tunnel, and there's a light at the end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, next week we're allowed legally to hug each other.
Exactly.
I'll be able to hug you.
Oh,
I'll not hug Jay in a year and a half.
exactly.
Caroline is
there you
better
go.
off with his. He's better off with his memories.
Oh dear. So once all this hopefully is over, what are the plans for Jay and David?
Well, together we've done a few things which are once again Gogglebox inspired, because we're doing a filming. Sorry, Dave's just picking up the dogs.
Go on, let me see the dog. Oh my God. Hi,
So
darling.
this is Bella.
Oh
This
my
is Bella.
God.
This is Honey.
This is Miss Honey Monroe, star of stage and small screen.
Beautiful.
They kept us strong during lockdown.
They have.
Yeah, we
Having
lost
to go
our
out
dog a
every day
couple of
with
years
them
ago. You know, our dog passed away a couple of years ago, but she was 15. Bless her.
Oh, that's a good life.
Yeah.
We have another one, but he's hiding. There's a third member.
He's camera shy.
He's camera shy.
Oh.
He doesn't like doing
He
Zooms.
wants a fee. He won't appear unless there's a fee.
He doesn't come out for more than 100 treats.
Yeah, exactly.
No, we're just about to film some new content where, because we do a lot of like either film critiquing or Gogglebox style, you know, they call it like talking heads. We've been asked to do something to do with art. So we're filming something
we're going to be art
where
critics.
we're going to be art critics, where we will be watching a few various forms of art, and we're going to give our views for a new online platform. So we'll
Do you
see how
actually
that.
know anything about art?
Well, funny enough, I studied history of art, but it's the new art, you know, that
nouveau art.
It's all this, you know, crazy art where somebody
Alternative
art, you know, where you might see a worn mattress thrown on the street and somebody calls it art, things like that, and you know, so there's a lot of art down the road. There's a lot of art, in the local skip.
There's a skip in my street. I better get out and take pictures.
So we're not afraid of giving an opinion or two. So that's why they've asked us to. So we're doing that, and then we're doing this other thing for a YouTube channel where we're going to be reviewing food. So
I don't mind that at all.
So there seems to be
a pattern.
So there's a general pattern going where people are booking us for projects together where we're just either critiquing or reviewing things. Which I think it's also because it's the camaraderie and banter between us that people like. So that's what we're doing with each other. And
you've got a film coming up.
I'm currently filming my first cameo role. That's all I can say on that. Recording the first single and see where that goes. I really want to. Right now, I'm very passionate about working with new people, working with new producers, new writers, to bring out new music. I just feel like I'm ready now to do me, if that makes any sense musically.
Yeah, well, stay in touch with me on that one.
Oh, 100%. I just feel like it's time now. You know, I've invested a lot of my time helping others, develop others to become great singers, great artists. Some have now gone on to run choirs themselves, and I praised them and I applaud them. I've told them good luck because it's not easy.
You're telling me.
Dealing with the divas.
Having to deal with so many artistic temperaments is not easy. I got grey hairs out of it, but nevertheless, I have no regrets of doing what I did, because I helped so many young singers develop their craft. Now it's my turn to develop me and let people see what
you've always put others first.
Let people see, let people see Jay, because quite often people, I don't really share much of my singing. You have to really Google it or find it in certain different places.
Well, I found it and it was brilliant.
Thank you, and I hope to do more. I hope to share more, and touch wood. Hope to do another show with a live band, hopefully with a mini orchestra, because I've always said I would love to have a lovely string quartet playing.
I can play the triangle.
Yes, you can. Yeah.
Well, again, let me know, because musicians
100%,
I have
100%.
by the hundreds, and I represent
Excellent.
a lot of.
Good.
I represent a lot of tip-top musicians.
Oh,
You know,
fantastic.
as an
Yeah.
agent. So
Maybe
yeah, we
maybe
can
one
do
day I
it.
could do my way.
But the funny thing is,
You
I
can.
only recently,
And you'll do it
I
your
just
way.
recently joined, didn't it? I only recently joined TikTok,
Yeah.
and a couple of days ago, I posted something on TikTok from a show that I was on Channel 4 called "When Talent Shows Go Horribly Wrong," and I just posted a bit of the content on there.
Just a small snippet.
A small snippet, and
It's got amazing.
it had so far it's on 125,000 views.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
brilliant.
So I was completely gobsmacked, but it's finding what the audience like, and they seem to like that content. So yeah,
Well,
that's
build
what
on
we're-
it.
I got
You have to-
600 views.
Listen,
And I was
you
pleased
have
with
to
my one for 600.
you have to build on it. If you found something that an audience likes, just build on that.
Yeah.
Stick to it. Yeah, that's
right,
the
Build on it.
yeah. So
Because
that's
it's
what
very
I'm doing.
hard.
don't
I mean, this business is so hard. You know, music
It's very
business is
competitive, isn't it?
very much like acting. You know, we work with an
Too much
actor
competition.
who's doing music and recording at the moment. Again, I can't say too much like you about certain things, but he's been in Coronation Street, Brookside,
Wow.
Emmerdale. He's quite a big actor, and he's been recording with us at the moment, writing his own material and recording it. It's a very tough business, and I advise anybody that goes, you know, that if they can't get a major record deal, which, let's be fair, it's one of the most difficult things
It is,
ever to get a major record deal. And a lot of people now, because of the power of internet, are self-funding and self-releasing, iTunes, Spotify, Deezer, Apple Music, whatever. But I always advise people, if you're going to do that, you have to put in your budget enough money for PR, because without national radio and TV PR, without regional radio PR, you may as well not do it, because no one's going to know it's there. You know, if they can't hear it, they can't buy it. It's got to be, you know,
right.
Because, you know,
Absolutely right.
and that's what I advise all the clients that come to me. I say, you know, you can pay me for your social media PR on your new single or your new album, but I can only go so far with it. If you want to promote what you're doing, you've got to have, you know, don't do such an extravagant video, because that doesn't mean anything, the video. It's downloads. People have got to hear the song, and if it's not on the radio, they don't hear it. And people just don't get that. People just don't get that. When you're releasing as an artist, when you're doing music, always remember the most important thing is radio PR.
That's right. Getting radio play is very important.
Exactly. It's the most important. You can film a video now. I mean, I saw something the other day. I think it was on YouTube or one of those channels where someone had literally released a single, and actually it's doing quite well. I can't remember the name of it, because they've got radio PR. It's been on the radio. But the video they literally did a real raw video somewhere in Shoreditch or Bethnal Green, East London, on their phone. Filmed it on their phone, and they're using it. And
it's amazing what you can do on your phone these days.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, amazing.
Absolutely. So this episode is actually my last episode for the winter and spring season. I'm back again in the summer on Let's Talk. I hope you guys will come back, and hopefully
of course.
Hopefully we'll be hearing your single then, Jay.
Hopefully touch wood, it will all come together, and and we'll definitely be in touch as well.
All right, darling. Well, look, all that's left for me to say is thank you so much for being my special guest on the 17th episode of Let's Talk. It's been a pleasure. Everybody who watches every week, thank you so much. And we'll be back.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. I've enjoyed talking to you both. It's been fun. Thank you so much. And kisses for the dogs too.
Oh, bless your heart, darling. Thank you so much.
Thank you, darling.
Bye.
God bless.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Well, everyone, that's it. for season 1. I've had so much fun every week speaking to all these super talented people in their own rights, all different people. You know, there was Stephen Edwards, actor's been in Coronation Street, Emmerdale Farm, Brookside, he was great, and he's also now singing. And then there was T Green. I mean, bloody hell, what a great singer this guy is, and he's got a single out too. And then there was a very, very entertaining Simon Gross, TV celebrity, Big Brother, and all the rest of them. He's done them all. And Chloe Foston, what a talented young lady, singer-songwriter, scriptwriter. And Andrew Hart, the man who fed the NHS through the pandemic. I mean, how interesting was that interview? Letting us know what happens inside the hospitals, things we wouldn't see. And then there was Martin Bell. You know, come on, great football songs. And Dana, singer-songwriter, great singer. She's got a single out at the moment too. And then there was my friend Joe Hart from Hart Media, the biggest regional radio PR company in the UK. And David Bourne, what a great character, doing every can to help everybody be well during the pandemic. And Scott Stringfellow talking about his new book about his dad, Peter Stringfellow. And then there was Rick Mason. Rick is a literary agent, a publisher, so interesting. And of course, the super talented Andy Mudd. What a singer, what a keyboard player. You know, and he was the MD for Joe Longthorne too. And then there was Troy Lambert, all the way from America, book publisher and an author of best-selling books. And Lisa Palmer, how much fun was she? She specialises in bringing people together, finding, you know, men and women so that they have a beautiful relationship. And then there was Molly Samuel Paul, MBE. And then there was Seymour Platt, the son of Christine Keeler. Now that was a really interesting, that one, I enjoyed that. And finally, there was Jay Kamiraz and David Anthony. Never laughed so much with these guys. It was absolutely brilliant. So, there you have it. Silverstone Media finished season 1 for now, but we'll be back in June for season 2. See you at the end of June on Silverstone Media TV, which is our YouTube channel.